Chapter 1. So we begin to understand what exactly goes on in the afterlife. My name is Andy, and I'll be your guide into what goes on in the afterlife and the interpretations coming directly from the Bible. Let's begin. So we have two different ways to go when it comes to writing the works of what goes on. We have in the books of both Genesis and Revelation, beginning and end in order to see. As I begin to write this, I grasp onto my protection from Michael, the archangel mind-altering necklace, beginning to talk about such a taboo subject that would easily revolve back to haunt me if I am not careful. For this, I am not using any form of mind-altering substances, as those could easily put me into a psychosis while talking about something so deep and scary. But anyway, we begin. The beginnings of Satan started as the fallen angel, who fought God and lost, unfortunately. The fallen angel brought with him many other angels who have fought against God and lost. Is there any true belief in this? Well, during my days when I was 24 on Facebook, I remember chatting with some very interesting people from Russia who have done nothing but study the effects of the Archangel Gabriel and many others. Some of those things that have come by are the facts and proofs of the angels in the clouds as well as angels in the churches and mosques around the world. We have seen as well that people will swear by the fact that they have read and heard of those demons and angels coming into their lives. What we understand today is that people are not usually possessed, but instead have mental ailments that may haunt them along the way. And religious hallucinations are common amongst those who follow the Bible too literally and live by the Quran as well. One of the big things that has been happening lately is that Muslims have been turning to Christianity because they see Jesus in their dreams. Can they also see Satan in their dreams? Well, that's kind of the thing to understand, is that anyone can see whatever they want in their dreams, as dreams are a mixture of the subconscious. I do believe, however, that there are people seeing Jesus Christ in their dreams, and it's one of those things that really come out in different ways, similar in the way that Doubting Thomas has seen Jesus Christ in his dreams. But that's kind of the curiosity about these dreams. I, for one, used to think I saw hell in my dreams, similar to the way that people would be able to see other realms in their dreams. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember walking through a black market and seeing the satanic merchants working their services. Just last night, I dreamed about how I saw Lilith on my phone texting me, and I was too afraid to see what she texted. I kind of stick around thinking and dreaming about the different things that go on and how they tend to be able to make things different, or perhaps even worse. I was never a Satanist, but I have dabbled in reading literature that is off-putting and frightening to a certain degree. For myself, though, I used to be an extremely religious Mormon for a very long time and still do have connections with the church in ways where we have Bible and Book of Mormon study. However, I have found a lot of different things that the Mormons do not talk about, such as the rampant mental conditions in the community that seem to scar a lot of the people going in and out of them. When confronting the missionaries about it, they were sort of surprised in a way, and they left kind of pretending it never happens. Something that is hard to understand because these are the mental illnesses that make up the genetics of the Mormon community. They are passed down from parent to child and have been doing so since 1833 when the church has started. Mental illness, trauma, and many other ailments tend to be what creates these different religious experiences that come up. I know my mental ailments have been so strong to the point where I began to not really care for them as much in my 30s. During my 20s, these different things have been one of the hardest things to go through and one of the hardest things to accept, and I have been wondering more and more about my illnesses. It wasn't until my psychosis that occurred in 2024 that I began to understand just how fragile the mind is and how I will never be able to have a normal life.